Assalamu alaikum. I'm Hafsa Educationwali, a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute Batch 23 Level 1. My today's task is to have conversation with ChatGPT, and the topic of my conversation is exploring creativity, how to find your unique voice. So let's start. First of all, we invite ChatGPT and start conversation. Hello ChatGPT. Hello ChatGPT.
Hey there. Great to hear from you. What's on your mind today?
I want to ask you some questions about finding your unique voice.
Absolutely. I'd love to help. What specifically would you like to know about finding your unique voice? Maybe the creative process, the confidence side of it, or something else?
My first question is, what does it mean to have a unique creative voice?
That's a great starting point. Having a unique creative voice basically means you have a distinct way of expressing yourself. It's like a personal signature in your work. It's how your perspective, experiences, and personality come through so that when people see or hear it, they recognize it as yours.
Why is finding your own voice important in creativity?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's important because it helps you stand out. It also makes your work more authentic, connect more deeply when they feel they're experiencing something truly personal. Plus, it gives you more confidence as you keep creating because you know you're offering something that no one else can.
Can creativity be learned, or is it something people are born with?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. I think creativity is definitely something you can learn and nurture. Some people might be more naturally inclined towards it, but everyone has the capacity to grow their creative skills by practicing, staying curious, and just giving themselves permission to experiment.
How can someone begin discovering their creative style?
That's a great question. I think a good starting point is to experiment with different mediums. Try writing, painting, music, or anything that sparks your curiosity. Also, pay attention to what excites you or what kind of work you're drawn to. And most importantly, give yourself permission to make bad projects at first. Those are the ones that guide you toward clarity.
What role do personal experiences play in shaping creativity?
Oh, they're huge. Personal experiences basically give your work its depth and authenticity. When you draw from your own life, your emotions, and your unique perspective, it resonates with others on a really personal level. So your life stories often become the core of your creative voice.
How does experimentation help in finding a unique voice?
Experimentation is like a playground for your creativity. By trying out different styles, genres, or even just new ways of thinking, you start to notice what feels natural and what excites you. Over time, those experiments help you narrow down what truly sounds or looks like you. So it's really a trial and error process, but it's super valuable.
Can imitation be a useful step in creative process?
Absolutely. Imitation is actually a super important step. When you mimic the work of artists you admire, you learn their techniques, their choices, and you get to see how they shape their creative voice. Then, once you understand those things, you can start to break away and develop your own unique spin on them.
How can people avoid comparing themselves to others?
Yeah, that's a big one. I think it really helps to focus on your own progress and set personal goals. Also, remember that everyone's journey is different. What you see online is often a highlight reel, not the whole story. So keep your eyes on your own path and trust that your voice will unfold in its own time.
Okay. What are some common obstacles to creative self expression?
Yeah, there are a few big ones. Fear of judgment is a huge one, worrying about what others will think. Then there's perfectionism, where you never feel ready to share something. And sometimes just a lack of time or fear of wasting your efforts can get in the way. But every obstacle is something you can work through with practice and self compassion.
How does fear of judgment affect creativity?
Yeah, it can really hold people back. When you're afraid of being criticized, you might stay in your comfort zone and never share your ideas. It can stifle risk taking, and that's where a lot of fresh creativity comes from. So, overcoming that fear is kind of key. It lets you put your authentic self out there.
What is the relationship between confidence and creativity?
They're really intertwined. Confidence gives you the courage to take risks and share your ideas, even if they aren't fully formed yet. And the more you create and share, the more confidence you build. So it's kind of a causative feedback loop. Confidence fuels creativity, and creativity in turn builds confidence.
Why is failure considered an important part of the creative journey?
Oh, it's really crucial. Failure is where you learn the most. You figure out what works, what doesn't, and you refine your process. Every misstep is a chance to grow, and eventually those failures often lead to your most innovative breakthroughs.
How can daily habits help develop creative skills?
Daily habits are like small scaffolding for your creativity. When you create a routine, even just a short daily practice, like writing a few lines or sketching something, your brain stays in that creative flow. Over time, it becomes second nature, and you get more comfortable taking risks and exploring new ideas.
How can feedback help someone grow creatively?
Feedback is gold, really. It gives you an outside perspective on what's working and what isn't. When you hear from others, whether it's praise or constructive criticism, you can refine your ideas, see blind spots, and push your boundaries. So it really accelerates growth.
And what are some ways to stay inspired and motivated?
Ooh, yeah. I think one big thing is surrounding yourself with other creatives, whether that's through community, social media, or just supportive friends. Also, consuming a lot of different kinds of art, books, music, films can spark new ideas. And sometimes just giving yourself breaks and getting outdoors can re energize your creativity.
Okay. How can creators how can creators balance originality with learning from others?
Yeah, that's a delicate balance. I think it's about using inspiration as a springboard. So you study others to understand techniques or themes, but then you ask yourself, what's my twist? How can I bring my personal lens to this? So it's a mix of learning, adapting, and staying true to your own voice.
Does technology help or hinder creative expression?
Oh, yeah, collaborate and reach audiences you might not have had before. Whether that's through music, films, podcasts, or fiction, or even
What advice would you give to someone struggling to find their voice?
different things without any pressure to have it all figured out. Pay attention to what excites you and don't be afraid to revisit old ideas or experiment. Over time, your voice will emerge and feel more natural.
How can young creators build confidence in their work?
I think a big part of it is just getting started and showing up regularly. Share your work, even if it feels imperfect. Every time you do, you get a little braver. Also, celebrate small wins and remember that your unique perspective matters. Just by being you have something valuable to offer.
What final message would you share with aspiring creators looking for their unique voice?
I'd say trust yourself and enjoy the journey. Your voice isn't something you have to force, it unfolds as you create. Be curious, stay open, and remember that every step, even the uncertain ones, is bringing you closer to who you're meant to be as a creator.
So, viewers, this was my conversation with ChatGPT, and I truly enjoyed this insightful conversation. And I hope you would also enjoy this and get benefit from it too. With this, I take leave from you and Allah Hafiz.